All right, everybody, welcome back to the latest and greatest episode of the Virginia Carolina Deer Tracks podcast. I'm Mike Davis, and today we have taken a road trip out here to Brunswick County, the Dundas area. We're going to meet with John Donovan here of Dundas Taxidermy. John, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, bud. Thanks for having me. Glad y'all can make it.
Man, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
As always, one of the main focuses here of the podcast is to highlight and promote just the cool local stuff that we got going on in our part of the world. And I think John and his business certainly fits that profile. John, I got to know John a little bit. We met at, we met at a couple of them, I think, but at the NWTF banquets. And but most notably, I guess, at the South Hill Longbeards event is where John and I really kind of formally started really talking about the podcast. So we'll get into that stuff a little bit later. But again, John, welcome to the show. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself and about your background?
Okay, John Donovan's my name. I was born local. My dad was a veterinarian in Lunenburg for 50 years. Born and raised here in the Lunenburg area. Fortunate enough that was taught to hunt and fish my whole life, right. And do. And my early career, I was a merchant seaman.
Okay.
I sailed the world for 12 years on cargo ships, and during that time, on off time, I've always thought about doing taxidermy. I went to school in Iowa.
No kidding.
Yeah, and man, I had no business trying to run a business at 22 years old,
Yeah, most of us don't.
I didn't have the patience for it, and just kind of put it on the back burner and tinkered with it, here and there throughout the years. And 2 years ago, I was able to go in business for myself, so I've been doing it full time.
Man, that's excellent. Let me just, I know y'all can't see it, and maybe John will let me take a picture and show it on the video, but with John's merchant seaman background, man, he has got one of the coolest kitchens I have ever seen in my life. I mean, this whole building is just absolutely phenomenal, man. It's like a barn-dominium log cabin with taxidermy stuff everywhere. Man, I could just sit in this place and hang out for days at a time.
Thank you.
But when you walk in the door, man, his kitchen, he's got a kitchen bar that is basically a ship. And I don't know how else to describe it, but it's just cool as shit. That's all I'm going to say.
Funny story behind it. It came to me when the house burned down and we were rebuilding. I lived in a camper right outside here. And I was sitting in there having a drink one night, and got to thinking, and I drew it on a napkin, and
wow.
My artistic skills with drawing are, man, a stick man's tough for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I have a good friend, and I told him what he was going to do, and he's like, man, you can't do it. I said, man, you going to build it, and he did a phenomenal job on this 18-foot long, 20 feet tall.
It's awesome.
Cool.
It's awesome, man. It really is.
Thank you.
It really is, man. It's just got a cool vibe to the whole place, and it just really fits in well with everything that you're about and everything that I'm about, man. It's just awesome.
Thank you.
So you're on these cargo ships, and you're like, man, I want to get into taxidermy.
Yeah, I was just home. I'd work 8 months at a time, sometimes 9, depending on the run where we were going. But yeah. I'd take 2 or 3 months off. And, you got to think, I'm 22, 23 years old. But I'm hanging out with my buddies and stuff. But they got unplugged.
No,
there
you're
we go.
good. You're good.
I'm hanging out with my buddies and stuff, but they got to go to work.
Right.
When I don't, when I work now, I worked. But I get time off. And I said, man, I'm going to go to taxidermy school when I get off of shit. I'd like to try that. And I realized real quick that I didn't have the patience for it at 22, 23 years old and stuff, but it's always been in my mind. And now, 30 years later, I hadn't mastered patience by no means, but
it's a struggle every day.
It's a whole lot better than it used to be.
I hear you. So, I mean, you mentioned Iowa. I think that's very interesting. Now, what was that like the only place to do it, or you just wanted to go to Iowa, or something about that program was just like that one's the one.
This was pre-internet, and it was an ad in the back of Outdoor Life. You remember back in the old days, your hunting magazines that would have all your outfitters and different stuff in the back 4 or 5 pages. It was just a little ad in the back of Outdoor Life, and I called, and
Cool.
That's how I found it.
That's cool. So you had to actually go there, or was it some kind of? Well, I guess it really wasn't an online course.
Yeah, no
You
such thing
physically
as
went-
internet.
right?
Yeah, I got in the truck and drove to Iowa and spent like 8 weeks out there.
Wow, that's what I was going to ask. So it's an 8-week program.
Yeah.
And at that point, you are, I guess, is certified the right word, or?
It's really not a certification or nothing. But they taught me what I needed to know and taught me how to do it. And of course, I had to relearn a lot of stuff because things have changed so much from 30 years. You know, back then, especially like birds, you had to make your bodies out of excelsior and with string. You try to tie it all together and get it looking right. And now everything's so anatomically correct, and you just order it from suppliers, you know, to the size and stuff.
Well, you may not be much of a drawer in terms of architecture, but I'm telling you right now, the taxidermy that I have seen all around this place is nothing short of an art form.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That is, I mean, you can see just glimpses of it here in the video. We got a beautiful amount of crappies there. We got deer heads all over the place. I hope you can make it out. We got a full mount turkey here beside me. I don't think you can see the ducks up there, and whatever that fish is. I'm showing my ignorance by not knowing, but
It's a big redfish. Now I didn't mount that redfish.
I got you.
A very good friend of mine inherited that. It was caught 50 years ago, and it's sitting in a barn for 25 years in a one-side open crate, and it was cracked all to pieces and in shambles. And he brought it to me and said, "Can you restore it?" Cool. So I restored that red drum.
Nice.
But everything else, all the other fish I mounted.
There's a bass. I mean, there's bear rugs, there's coyotes, there's bobcats, there's a steer of some kind up there. I mean, man, this place is just cool. I can't quit saying it.
Thank you. And look, anybody's welcome to come by and check out the showroom anytime. We're open pretty much 6 days a week. If you want to come visit the showroom, I prefer you call. Make sure I ain't had to run to town. You drive all the way here, and I'm not here. But
yeah, he gave me the nickel tour, as they call it, before we got started. And man, it's just a cool setup. And I appreciate, a lot of people don't like to show the behind the scenes stuff, but I appreciate you sharing that with me.
Oh, anytime, man. Everybody's always welcome.
Man, that's cool. So, 2 years ago, is that what you said? You really kind of dove back into it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I imagine that's got to be pretty hard to really get started and kind of get your name out there and kind of build that reputation.
It is, and I still am. It's a never ending process. But the more you do, the more you learn, and
yeah, that's true. Did you? Now, getting started, and I told you before we started this that I was probably going to ask you some really dumb questions.
Oh, that's all right. I'll give you a dumb answer.
But I am, genuinely curious because I know how my mind works, right? If I was going to, if I shot the buck of a lifetime and I'm going to, find a taxidermist, I want to get it mounted, you obviously are going to look for somebody who's got, been around for a while and got a reputation for doing good work. So when you're just getting started out of the gates, you don't have that repertoire. So how do you overcome that? What did you do?
Social media and a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
Just keep plugging at it. Everybody has to start at the beginning.
Right. Did you kind of start on your own stuff and just kind of, get the pictures and word out, or just, some friends and stuff, just kind of
a couple friends and stuff, but I pretty much just dove head first,
I got you. Now,
I've kind of always been that way.
Yeah. Hey, Well, I mean, you dove, from everything you've told me, you dove headfirst into building your home here. You've dove headfirst into, I mean, it sounds like you're just a dive first kind of guy.
I am.
And the world needs those kind of people, you know, man. So you're doing it, man, and kudos to you.
Thank you.
Now, you know, I see just so many different types of animals, and fish species and stuff like that. Is there any kind of animals that are like off limits that you're like, nah, man, nah, I ain't messing with that?
Pets.
I was not expecting that.
People ask me, says, anything you want, mount. And I say, pets and my friend's old ladies.
Oh my God, that is awesome, dude.
I just think mounting a pet's morbid. You know,
yeah, you know, I've seen stuff like about that, and man, it's like when you see it, it's like, man, I really hope they're joking. It's a joke, right? You don't really mean that, and but people do mean that, don't they?
Oh, I see it more up north.
Yeah.
Than I do down south, but there's some taxidermists that make a killing doing. I had a cold call, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago, and a gentleman was putting this little dog down and hadn't done it yet and inquired about mounting it, and I said, I don't. I said, but I can reach out to some people that might be able to help you. And it was I forget what kind of dog it was, but it was a lap dog.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I found a guy in New York that specialized in pets. It was $7,500 more than a funeral for a human being. And he was slam busy, you know. He said it'll probably be 2 years before I can get it to him.
I mean, I kind of get it. I mean, as a pet owner myself, I mean, I get how attached you become, but that's a whole new level right there.
Well, I look at it, you know, I'm attached to mom and dad, but I ain't gonna mount them when they pass. you know.
Right.
It's just, it's morbid to me.
I don't know. You got to have that. You got to have that stupid money to do stuff like that, man. I ain't got that stupid money.
Me, and I couldn't charge nobody that kind of money to do something.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
If they're that stupid, I don't know. I might could charge them. But. Okay, so pets and people are off the table. Good to know. Good to know. What animal? What is the hardest for you to do?
Probably the hardest is waterfowl.
Okay.
Turkeys. Most people struggle with turkeys. For some reason, turkeys came natural to me. They're just.
What is it about the waterfowl that you find? I mean, is it just hard, or is it just so meticulous, or that it's just a pain in the butt?
It's mainly the smaller wood ducks and teal.
Mm-hmm.
Flesh in them, their skin is paper thin. I mean, you can push a hole through it with your fingers. When I first started I was doing a bunch of ducks that friends would donate to me, you know, to work on, practice my ducks. And I remember it was a wood duck. It was like a second one I'd done, and I had him fleshed perfect. Everything was great, and I was washing him. And I picked him up out this wash water where I'd washed him by the neck, and I didn't wring him out, and the weight of the water just ripped it right in half.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's just like, you know, I've done such a good job. And they're just so paper thin. They're really, really tedious.
So what do you, I've always wondered this. You know, what does a taxidermist do in the event that, I mean, somebody's brought, you know, their special animal to you, and you get in the middle of it and something goes wrong, whatever the case might be, something like that, or just, I don't know, I can't think of any scenarios, but, you know, I imagine that's kind of a, you know, what do you do in that situation?
A prime example, and I did a thing on my Facebook last year telling people, you know, I area dog hunting, and I love dog hunting. But somebody kills a big buck, they're going to throw him on the dog box and ride him around all day.
If I kill a big one, I'm going to ride him around for a week.
Yeah, but I tell people, if you're going to mount him, don't do that, because the hide will spoil, and the hair starts falling out of it. So the only option, we can use your horns, But the only option is to get another hide.
I got you.
And
You
replace
just kind of do some Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, just put their horns with a different hide, because if it gets in that type of shape, there's nothing you can do with it.
Where do you get the other hides from? Just
A lot of hunting friends. I told them to say, hey man, bring it
I
to
got
me, and I'll, so I have extras.
I got you.
And a lot of my European mounts, I'll take the hide and flesh it and have it ready, and they stay in the freezer if I need an extra when I have one.
I got you. How I didn't even pay attention to that. Do you have a lot of freezers back there?
I got 2 walk-ins outside.
Okay. Man, that's awesome. So when you, I've heard different answers on this, but as a rule of thumb, how quickly does somebody need to get that animal to you for you to have a realistic chance to do something with it?
As long as they get it in the freezer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Especially deer. Man, gut your deer, any field. Don't throw him on the truck with the guts in him.
Yeah.
Gut him in the field, let him cool off. Take your pictures if you want to or whatever, but get him skinned out or get him cooled down. If you ain't got a way to get him skinned out and cooled down, get him to me.
Quickly, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, I got to run. I ain't got nowhere to keep him. I'll be back in a little while.
That's right.
But birds, fish, deer are just so big, But the smaller species animals, just take him and put him in your freezer. And I don't like to take ducks over a year, just because of risk of freezer burn.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. But the longer you wait, the more the chance there is for that to happen, obviously.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
Gotcha.
freezer burn is no fixing.
Gotcha. Okay. So I know you mentioned that turkeys kind of come natural to you. Why do you think that is?
I got lucky, I think.
Yeah?
I mean, really, yeah, because the first turkey I did, it really looked good. I had several people compliment on it. Damn, that's the first turkey you've done. And they get better and better. Now I took a class with a national champion, paying him to teach me, but it just came natural.
Yeah. That's cool.
So,
I mean, that's the way the world works. We're all naturally inclined and gifted in different areas. So that's cool that is like your kind of thing. So with that being said, is the turkey your favorite mount?
By far.
100%.
Yep, 100%.
Cool.
I love doing them. And it ain't a prettier bird, Turkey hunting, all our turkey hunters know, man, you're in the woods, and he comes up to you all blowed up in the sun. It's nothing prettier.
It is a different kind of rush. It just is. Makes your hair stand up.
It's addictive.
Makes you breathe funny. I mean, it just turns you into a little kid. Just get the shakes and the giggles and
Yeah.
don't know how to explain it.
Like Christmas morning being 5 years old.
That's right. So speaking of turkeys, I want to kind of go back around to the NWTF stuff now.
Okay.
Where I first noticed John and what he had going on, John has, at least 2 of the banquets I've been to, he donates a full turkey mount to the NWTF that I think they usually end up auctioning off or doing a drawing for, that kind of thing. So that really stood out in my mind. One, that you were, willing to donate something like that, your time and effort, and our business, United Country, we are partnered with NWTF, so we work with them, and we work at different levels at the banquet. So I just kind of started admiring you from afar, like, man, that guy's cool right there. I want to meet that guy someday. And as it turns out, we did meet. But I think that's a very, very cool thing that you do. And then you were telling me something about a big gobbler contest you had going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we partnered with the Stanton Maharan chapter. This year was the first year. It's going to be an annual thing for Youth Weekend. And it's a big gobbler contest for the Youth Weekend. And if we get enough entries, we're going to give away a full body mount. This year was the first year, and they had a money split. It was $20 to enter. but they get a Jake's membership with that $20.
Oh, wow. Well,
So,
that's a good
I mean,
deal.
it works out great.
Yeah.
And if we get enough entrants, they can win a free full body mount as well. But we had eight entrants this year being the first year, and we're going to hopefully get more as it grows.
Yeah.
But the winner, it amazed me. I apologize, young man, if you're watching, but I can't remember the name. I have it written down. I just don't have it with me. But he bought me a Eastern Gobbler. I think it was his first bird. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it was 27.3 pounds.
I want to repeat that again just to make sure y'all are hearing this. 27.3 pounds. That is a huge bird.
Huge. Had an 1.25 inch hooks and 11-inch beard.
Man.
I mean, he scored a 74.3 or 74.4, I believe.
Man, that's
With one beard.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, you and I were talking earlier, and I don't know that I've ever heard of anything over 25 pounds.
That's
You
about
know,
the biggest I've ever heard of. And somebody's like, especially, knowing people, man, I killed a 25-pound bird. You lying. You ain't killed no 25-pound
yeah,
bird.
you filled it with lead weights,
Yeah.
it's something. I mean, anything over 22, I'm usually like, man, that's impressive.
Yep.
But 27? Good God,
I couldn't
man.
believe it.
Do you remember what county he was in?
Believe it was Mecklenburg County.
Man,
Yep, I'm pretty sure that boy was from Mecklenburg.
I'm disappointed that I didn't hear more about that, being that I'm located in Mecklenburg County. But man, I'd like to find out more about that. So if you think of that kid's name or whatever after,
Yeah,
let me
it's
know.
written down in the shop, and before we did this, I didn't think about it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'd love to hear that story. Man, that is really cool. We did our first big buck contest this fall. So you're right. It's hard to just like getting started in a business. It takes a little while to build it up and spread the word. So if y'all are going to do that every year, we will certainly do our part to help promote that and help you build that.
I appreciate it. And I can't speak for the chapter because, I'm not the president of it, but it's my understanding that, yes, we're going to do this every year.
Well, that's cool.
So
That's cool. I mean, the Stanton Maharon chapter, always has the banquet there in Chase City, and we're always involved in that one too. I think that's probably the first time I ever saw you or heard your name was at that banquet. So look forward to seeing that and watching that grow. Gosh, what else were we? Oh, so I like that it's the youth weekend that you do that, because your motto on your card is take a. Am I getting this right? Take a child in the wild.
yeah, take a child in the wild.
Take a child. I like that. It's got a good rhyme to it. How'd you come up with that?
It just popped in the head.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, one of those things. But I'm all about the youth hunting and fishing and having youth being involved, keeping our traditions alive, and they're the next generation. When we're gone, if we don't teach them,
That's right.
it's going to die out. And just trying not to cuss. There's so much crap
Yeah.
that children can get into this day and time.
That's right. That's right.
Keep them in the bushes, keep them on the ponds, or on the river, or the lake, or whatever, and get them interested in something that's not detrimental to them.
Yeah, they got a lot more. They got a lot more distractions and things at their fingertips than we ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
As kids. So I agree. That is not only important for the future of all the things that we love and hold dear to our heart, but I really think it's important for the next generation in general. Just for our species as humanity to keep people grounded and all that kind of
Keep
stuff.
Keep them off of video games all the
That's
time,
right.
off that phone all the time. There's so much social. Don't get me wrong, social media and what we're doing is great,
Yep.
but it can be so detrimental to children.
It is. Well, it's detrimental to grown-ups too. I mean, let's face it. I'm guilty. Hey, right here, this guy.
I am too.
All
Yeah,
right.
something I do for the kids to try to, from a business standpoint, any state-sponsored youth weekend, whether it be free fishing day, the youth bear, turkey, deer, now we have a duck. They just started duck this year. It's a youth weekend for duck.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
All kids get $100 off a mount if they so choose to have it mounted with us on youth weekend.
Man, that's awesome. Now, you were also telling me you do something similar with the veterans. Is that right?
Yeah, the week of Veterans Day. You know, Veterans Day on a Monday. So from Monday to Sunday, if a veteran has something they want mounted that they killed during that week, they get $100 off as well.
Man, that's awesome. You can't ask for more support than that. You really can't. Now, going back to the social media comment that we just talked about, it is a necessary evil, but while we're on the subject, why don't you, since we're here to help kind of promote and grow your business, why don't you tell folks where they can find you on the social media?
They can find us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Instagram, I'm a little lazy on.
All right. So what do they just search Dundas Taxidermy?
Dundas Taxidermy. Yeah.
All right. So,
and we have a website as well, DundasTaxidermy.com.
Okay. So you can go to DundasTaxidermy.com. You can go to Facebook. Not Facebook. You got Facebook.
Yep. Facebook, Dundas Taxidermy.
Dundas Taxidermy, Instagram,
and TikTok.
All those things. What is the phone number that folks can reach you at?
434-227-9899.
All right, there you go. So, I have not had the pleasure of having John do any work for me yet. But I can say from the stuff that I am seeing here in this building that he does good work. And,
Thank you.
Based on what I'm seeing here, based on just our time that we've spent together, getting to know each other a little bit, seeing your participation and involvement with the youth, with the veterans, with the NWTF, man, you couldn't ask for a better dude than this guy right here, man. This is the kind of guy that you want to associate with if you're into the things that we're into. I certainly recommend you. If I get fortunate enough to get something worthy of mounting, you're going to be my guy, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, on the veterans, something I would like to mention that we do for them too. We partner with the Ward Burton Wildlife Foundation.
Oh yeah, awesome.
When they have their veterans,
yeah, they do a lot of stuff for the veterans, right?
And their headquarters where they have this thing is literally 2 or 3 miles by the way the crow flies.
Yeah, I know, because Ward posted a video a couple weeks ago in Brunswick County then they were getting ready for one of their veteran outreach programs. So that's awesome. I didn't know you were involved with that.
Yeah, so, they do one once a I do one with them once a year when they have it. I forget. Ward, I'm sorry. Tom Inge, I'm sorry. I forget the exact name of the event. But it's a thing for the Veterans Weekend they do. And they have like a skeet shoot, a pistol shoot. Yeah. But I donate a free mount, turkey or deer, to the veteran that wins the event for them.
Wow.
Or however, Ward Burton Wildlife Foundation chooses the veteran that they want to award the mount to.
Man, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, man, what else can you say about this dude? He just walks on water right here. I'm just telling you.
I wouldn't say all that.
Look, I will say this, and when we were hanging out you had sponsored a table at the South Hill Longbeard banquet, and I don't know what you call it. The guy was doing the auctions, and I was kind of out on the floor, essentially like a spotter or whatever you call it. So I just happened to be over near John's table, and we kind of struck up a conversation. And I mean, this man don't know me from Adam, but he offered me a shot of whiskey. And anybody that knows me, man, that's a real quick way to become friends with me. So I knew he was a good egg then, man, and we just kind of started carrying on a conversation, and hopefully we'll have many more of them as time goes on. But
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, but Dundas Taxidermy, man, we're glad to have you in our part of the world.
Thank you.
Need more people like you, and if y'all want to hit him up or check him out on the social media and follow what he was doing. He was even telling me that he was doing a Facebook Live mount. Was it this fall you were doing that? Or
yeah, I've tried to do 3 or 4 a year.
Man, that's cool.
and usually I try to do it with a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one we did. Oh man, it's a great story. The boy was from Chesterfield, a youngster, and killed a monster 10-pointer. Monster 10-pointer, and it was his first deer he had ever killed.
Oh, how exciting is that?
So when we were mounting it, I did a live, so he can hopefully save it, and years later he can look at it and say, hey, tell his grandkids that he's taking hunting. Look, let me show you this. When I was a young man.
Man, that's pretty cool.
So,
That's pretty cool. Well, John, I think, man, I think we've covered it pretty good. You got anything else you want to talk about that we've left out?
No, not really. I appreciate you having us on. And
no, man,
it's been great. I
appreciate the invite. Normally we end up doing these. My posture's terrible. I'm like slouching.
Oh, mine too.
But
you know what that's called?
Old age.
Too many birthdays. Yeah.
But it's nice to kind of that you were close enough where I could bring the stuff and come to your place and just get a better sense of what you got going on out here and stuff. So man, I really appreciate you letting me come out here, man.
I appreciate it, Mike. You're welcome anytime.
Man, this is
anytime,
awesome.
And hopefully we can do it again sometime in the future.
Right on. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, John.
Yep. Thank you, bud.
All right, man. Peace out, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next episode.
Hey, y'all, don't forget. Take a child in the wild every chance you get.
There's a song there. Take a child in the wild. I'm not going to write that song.
I'm not going to write it either. That's the best I can do.
All right. So all y'all out there, all you musicians out there, submit your songs to me or John, and we'll pick a winner.
There you go.
All right, everybody. See you next time.
Y'all take care. Thank you.